second round of the season of RCF1 in the Hockenheim circuit. One of my favorite circuits, my type of circuit, but especially this. Well, originally this would be a endurance session, like 75 laps, but they just changed it all, and it will be a normal race session, just like 30 laps or something, just like 36 laps. So that's the little change they have added right now. So this originally were going to be an endurance session. We're going to start in 2 minutes the qualifying here in Hockenheim. We just start the season there on Silverstone with promising results. And now on the last race, in the last race on Baku, we're really need here in Baku. Okay, 2 minutes to start. I think it's on my friend list or something. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. I'm gonna join with this lap. So to get better commentating cover 3, okay. Okay. So this could be a interesting qualifying right now, because in the last race we just saw Ruth has won in the first race of the season on Baku. They are promising results with Polar and Hunt, the 3 podium drivers. So what about the others? Just like the top 10, they are look promising on this race. Just like Rush, like Master, Nix, Rafa. Some promising drivers from the top 10 in the last race on site on Baku. But now we're heading here in Hockenheim. This will be a really interesting race, right? We just have a really interesting race on Hockenheim. This is a circuit with a lot of speed. And this could be important from all the teams having the best lap on this occasion. Just have to remember, normally the laps in this race, just like on this circuit, just like 1-3 or 1-2. We just seen that normally 1-2 is the average time in hockey. So we're heading on the green with the green flag, and we're about to start the qualifying right now. So unfortunately I cannot join it right now. I'm just looking for the server. Okay. The qualifying just started, and we are seeing the drivers leaving the pit lane. And we're about to see who's gonna set the pole position right now. Okay, so we're just having seen we are watching the onboard of the BMW starting the qualifying lap. There's a bunch of drivers over there. I don't know, but there's really a bunch of drivers. So this is Mushy. They just informed me about Mushy. They just informed me that it's probably gonna retire of Prix at this race. But well, they just have to. He just going to say those after the race. So well, we just have to ask him if what's going to happen with his future. So after the race, we're trying to ask him. Oh well, little problems with Nixon, the driver of Racing Bulls, got a really wide there, and the first attempt for completing the lap, it will be frustrated from the Racing Bulls team. We're just seeing Ace with the BMW starting. Well, we just saw the first attempts for completing the lap, and almost everyone getting invalidated from the red sector. So they are starting to suffer here in the German circuit. We're having the onboard of Ryan, the driver of Mercedes. We're seeing both Mercedes trying to settle the lap. Looks like one of the drivers have settled one of the best a really good sector, a decent sector on the first. And look at that, we're just seeing the first records. So at the first and the second sector. I'm not trying to. There's two Mercedes already on track. You can be. There's two Mercedes already on track. You can be McLaren for now. There's two Mercedes track right. And yeah, that's actually two Mercedes on the race. And we're just seeing Moshe Cookies getting into a track limit, so his lap will invalidated. We're just showing the first laps of the first times of this qualifying session. We just saw Rafa getting a really hard first attempt, getting the 117. What about Domo with the 1.1? That's a really good result. That's a really good lap at the moment, and Domo is getting the provisional pole which is seeing Nixon. Well, which is seeing a lot of drivers that didn't finish the lap yet, didn't settle the lap, and we just saw Mickey getting 3 yellow sectors. That was a way bad time for this driver, and we're just seeing a lot of drivers upcoming. We just saw Lamborghini. We just saw the Racing Bulls right there. There's another BMW. They're just like 2 BMW. They were really already 2 BMWs, I think. This is Rufus joining the race really late, I guess. So. Okay, so this is Master with the McLaren. We're seeing the onboard, and that's a promising time. The 1.3.2. They are 2 seconds down from Domo to set a perfect lap at the moment. We just set the perfect lap of the session, but we just have to wait long for the qualifying. The qualifying is done. It hasn't done yet. There are 9 minutes to. There are almost 10 minutes to go, and we're just seeing both McLarens getting into it. But well, that was a bad first sector from Master, but he just improved a little the second and the third sector. That's a decent improvement for the McLaren driver. We're just seeing the onboard of Prix, who hasn't completed a time yet. So well, this circuit could be hard sometimes for some drivers, just like the amount of track limits is brutal. But well, we just saw Flame, and look at that, Flame just improved his time with 1.5. At the moment, Flame is getting the provisional pole for McLaren. Ace, who surpassed by 2/10 of a second with that 101.7, and that's a lot of drivers getting into the pit lane, trying to get the better tires for the last attempts. So this is Rufus getting really complicated. Well, looks like something is happening to Rufus. Rufus is starting to get problems, so his lap will be invalidated due to the track limits there. That was so weird for the BMW driver. We just saw a few problems right there. So this is Ryan completing the lap, 1:2.2. That's a decent time from the 4th place. There is Rafa, there is Master, there is Mickey improving his time, 1:6.2, Rafa 2. Another improvement from Rafa 1.4.2, and there it is. H4 setting his time with the 1.2.9 from the Sauber driver, and that's Miki hasn't improved yet, having a really bad attempt. So this is Mashi Cookie with the Racing Bull, and now we're just seeing Marcus on the Haas. Almost the half of the drivers hasn't done his time yet, and almost the qualifying is about to end. So this will be a really hard complication for all the drivers between. At the moment, Flame, the driver of McLaren, is setting the provisional pole with that perfect time of 101.5, 0.2 of a second. There is Ace, the driver of BMW, and Domo from BMW 2 is settling the 101. So this could be an interesting fight for the pole position. And that's Marcus, who is about to finish his time, and that's a 1:02 from Marcus, the driver of Haas, getting into the P4 right now. That's a decent time from the Haas driver. So he has a lot of time to improve. But what about the another drivers who hasn't improved yet? This is Nixon from Racing Bulls, setting a promising rhythm at the moment. And we're about to see the time he's going to prove right now. That's a little wide on the third sector, and there's Nixon getting into the 5th position with that 1:2.2. That's another decent time from the Racing Bull driver. And there is Flame getting into the pits, I think. Yeah, this Flame getting into the pits. So it looks like his time will not be surpassed in a long time. At the moment, there is 6 minutes remaining, and looks like it's going to be really hard to get the pole position from the McLaren driver. So BMW is getting a real task to try to settle the hot lap for the pole position. There is H4 with the Sauber driver trying to prove his time. By now, he's on the 7th position, and he's doing a promising lap, which is going to see if Sauber is going to improve his time with H4. He settled a good 2nd sector, but that was a bad first. And we'll see if he can save the 3rd sector, and well, not. Unfortunately, the driver of Sauber didn't improve his time. At the moment, just 10 drivers finished his lap, but at the moment, Mushi, Rufus, Polar, and Brett didn't finish their time, so their teams are starting to worry about this driver. So we're about Mushi Cookies, who's about to settle his lap. And there it is, Mushi Cookies getting into the 3rd position with that 101.9. That's a really good time from the Red Racing Bull driver. And there it is, Mushi getting into P3, and that's a little problem with Brett, the driver of Lamborghini, and he's out. Looks like there is some problem with Lamborghini. He's out of the session, and Brett unfortunately did not finish, so he will be starting last in the pit lane. The last one who didn't finish is Polar. He's having really bad troubles trying not to get in another track limit. Looks like this driver is complicating too much with the track limits. Okay, so there is Flame trying to prove his best time. He's just seeing that they will surpass him somewhere, and that's a really good sector from Flame. What about the last sector? We're just gonna see if Flame is about to improve. Yes, he improved 1/10 of second, so now it's 101.4, and that's really probable that McLaren is gonna get the pole position. But well, we just saw that Domo improved his time, and the moment is 101.2. And that's Marcus just has improved his time, the driver of Haas, getting into P3 with that 101.9, and that's another improvement. And Polar just finally settled a lap, but that's unfortunately a 1:2.7, really far away from the others. And this is Master who will be trying again, trying to improve his lap. So this is Brett rejoining, and he will be a little late. Looks like he's getting a lot of troubles, and there is Gerson who joined really late the qualifying session, the driver of Williams. So that will be a warning. Yeah, that will be a track limit, so his lap attempt will be deleted at the moment. So, well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so Gerson just crashed out of nowhere. He just damaged his front wing for some reason. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he done a Sebastian Vettel right there. Somehow Gerson just crashed out of nowhere. So it looks like Flame is gonna get the pole position here at Hockenheim with a perfect time, but what about Ace, who has improved his time with that 101.5? Another improvement for the BMW driver, really close from the McLaren driver to settle the pole position. And there is Mushy Cookie trying to improve his time, and there it is, Mushy Cookie getting into P3 with that 101.8. A really decent time for the Racing Bull driver. And we're seeing about his teammate Nixon, who's about to finish the lap. And we'll see we're about to see if there's a great improvement or not. Well, that's a really nasty one for Nixon. We don't know what's happening with Nixon. He's just driving so nasty, so his time obviously will be deleted. So that's a little trouble. So that's a little problem with Racing Bulls. It's about to finish the qualifying, and Nixon somehow made this real mistake. So yeah, it's about to finish the qualifying session, and it looks like McLaren is gonna get the pole position here in Hockenheim. But the another candidate. Oh my goodness. Well, that's Rafa getting a good sector in the first one, but his time will be deleted. So it's about to finish the qualifying, and we're about to see if BMW or McLaren is about to get the pole position here in the German circuit. It's Ruth is getting a decent sector, well, a bad sector there with a yellow. So Power is about to try to prove his time, and that's the checker flag, and the qualifying is about to finish with Flame and Ace with their times deleted, but it looks like doesn't worried about it. So at the moment, looks like Flame is about to get the pole position from McLaren, and we're about to see the time of Mushy Cookie getting a decent first sector with that 12.4, a green sector. He's starting the marking his lap, Mushy Cookie, the driver of Racing Bull. And Ruth is with a really bad attempt, who will be finished in 8th position, and Mushy Cookie somehow froze. And that's a little trouble. So, well, yeah, just Mushy Cookie froze out of nowhere. And that will be all. And that's a big problem from Racing Bulls. Mushy Cookie somehow got froze, and that does means that Flame is gonna get the pole position for McLaren here in the Hockenheim circuit. And that's a really good way to start the race here from the McLaren driver, Flame, who got the pole position for McLaren. That's a really good starting, and the second pole position of the season goes to McLaren in the first position, and his teammate will be starting 11. That's a disappointing qualifying from Master. The teammate from McLaren is about to start P11. Yeah, there are some drivers who are about to complete his laps. So we're just about to see the lap drivers. We will wait a little, I guess. So we're just seeing the lineup for this occasion. There is Flame in P1 starting on pole. Ace in second position with BMW. The third position from Mushy Cookie in his red Racing Bulls. On his Racing Bull, Marcus with his Haas getting into P4 at the moment is the best position to start from Haas of the season. Nixon, the teammate of the partner of Mushy Cookie, starting into P5. Domo is 6th position with that Mercedes. Both Mercedes starting together, just like Rayan and Domo. The teammate of Ace starting in P8 with Ruthis. H4, the driver of Sauber starting P9, P10 from Polar, the driver of Red Bull. His teammate Rafa in P12, P13 from Big M from the Sauber teammate. Well, that's the Summit teammate, and Brett, who didn't finish the lap. He will starting in P4. Well, unfortunate from the Williams driver, he just crashed out of nowhere and he get his front wing off, so he will be starting in pit lane. Him and Brett, who didn't finish his laps, but well, that's the lineup for the qualifying today, and this looks promising from McLaren for the driver who got the pole position, but well, in this good way. Jerson starting pole, yeah. Jerson is about the starting pit lane, okay, yeah. Jerson has to start the pit lane, he didn't finish. And I think Brett too. Brett didn't finish his time too, but I think he didn't crash out of nowhere. Okay, that's a little complications with the driver of Williams. I think Brett too. Brett didn't finish his race too, so well. Which is how Mushi out of nowhere rejoining somehow. Looks like he's getting troubles with the car. No, Gerson. Gerson is about this. Gerson has to start in the pit lane. Somehow Gerson is joining into the lineup, so that's a really big issue from Williams at the moment. Gerson has to start on pit lane, he didn't finish, he just crashed out of nowhere. And Brett somehow he's about to put into the line, into the grid, unless he didn't finish the lap too, so well, it looked like this didn't. Okay, so that's it. There it is. Jerson starting on pit lane. Oh well. Oh well, that's Jerson getting some troubles in the pit lane. He's getting some troubles into where place is about to start, so well. And the lineup is ready here into the starting grid. We're about to start the race, the second round here in Hockenheim. This really great circuit is about to starting a really interesting race right now. So well, we're about to start here in Hockenheim. It's starting to get into the red lights, and we're about to start the second race of the season. And here we go. We are starting the race. The second race of the season here in Hockenheim. That's a decent start for McLaren. And now we're just seeing Ace trying to get into a position. Well, what a super start from Marcus at the moment, getting into the P2. And that's a really bad starting from the Lamborghini. At the moment, it's a really good starting from Flamed, the driver of McLaren, but there's a lot of pressure behind from Mushy and Marcus. We're about to starting the second sector, and at the moment it's doing great. The driver of McLaren with all that pressure behind, and there is Marcus at the moment getting into the P2. Looks like it's complicating a little for Mushy Cookie. He's getting really a little far. Flame, the driver of McLaren, he's getting a good starting at the moment, but someone just turned out wide. Looks like there's a Mercedes, and what about Marcus getting into this overtake? And there it is, and that's Marcus getting into the first position, and there is Mushy Cookies trying to get the pressure into Flame from the poleman from McLaren. At the moment, Marcus is leading the race, and it's time from DRS. The DRS has enabled in the second lap, and he's trying to cook the play here. Flame from McLaren trying to get him back to first position, but at the moment he's still leading the race. Marcus at the moment, he's defending well. And what about Mushy Cookie with the DRS too? It's about the overtake of Flame. We're just seeing an interesting battle for the first position. Flame trying everything to have the first position back, but there it is, another take from Mushy Cookie, and the poleman, he just downgraded to the third position. And well, we're just seeing a lot of this interesting fight for this first position. At the moment, Marcus, the driver of Haas, is leading the race. Now he's getting the pressure behind from Mushy Cookie, and we're just see somehow Ace, look at that train behind Ace, a lot of pressure from the driver of BMW, and there is Mushy Cookie doing a nasty one. No, that's a nasty one from Mushy Cookie, overtaking in the outside by 4. At the moment, the Racing Bull driver is leading the race. He's having a decent comeback at the moment. He started third, and now he's leading the race. And what about Flame? Just overtook Marcus, and we don't know what happened to Marcus. I think he's just... he froze. Oh, this is unfortunate from Haas. And Marcus just froze out of nowhere, and he's about to DNF the driver who was leading the race, Marcus. That's a tragedy. This is the real tragedy from Haas. Marcus, the driver who was leading the race, just froze out of nowhere, and he is DNF. It's a DNF, and we got the first DNF on the race. That's unfortunate from Haas, his driver who were leading the race. But at the moment, we're just seeing this fight for the first position between Mushy and Flame. The poleman wanting his first position again. But at the moment, really good defending from Mushy Cookie. But what about this? And that's a really good move. That's a really good move by Flame, who's getting the first position back. But it's about to respond quickly. Mushy Cookie with that Racing Bull. We're just seeing this fight for the first position still. Flame trying to defending, but this is a brilliant overtake from Mushy Cookie, who's getting the first position again. What a big fight we're getting into these two. But Soham way behind. There is Ryan in the Mercedes in podium places at the moment. Oh, bruh. But well, looks like the poleman is getting a real little troubles. They're just getting away from Mushy Cookie, the Racing Bull driver who's leading the race at the moment. He's just gaining a lot of advantage, so Flame has to do something, and somehow he didn't got the DRS. Well, somehow he didn't enable the DRS. So that's a DRS zone, and somehow he didn't enable it, so it will be a little trouble for McLaren. So at the moment, Mushy Cookie, the driver of Racing Bull, is leading the race. This is Flame trying to get back his first position, getting under pressure with him. Still looking for that first position again, and we just saw something happen with Ryan. And at the moment, Ruthis, the teammate of Ace, is getting into the podium places. And Ace, where's Ace? Oh my goodness! Oh, it's P8. I don't know what just happened with the driver of Mercedes and the BMW. They just have a little trouble right there. So at the moment they were P6 and P7. They're just far behind, and it looks like we got another DNF. We didn't notice it, but we got another DNF, and it's the driver of Williams, Jerson, who having a really day. So it looks like this misery is finally from the Williams driver. So, well, real trouble for the McLaren driver from Flame, who's starting to getting away from Mushy Cookie. The poleman is trying to get his first position back again, and just having real complications at the moment. It's just sending a good comeback. Mushy Cookie at the moment leading the race. Looks like something happened to Domo. He just back down into P10. Looks like both Mercedes are getting troubles. Like Ryan in P6 and Dom on P10 for Will. Both Red Bulls are getting a bit slow with Rafa and Polar. Well, the teammate Rafa is starting to get a little slower, but that is Polar getting into 7th, getting into decent position from Red Bull. And there is Brett being the surprise at the moment, heading into podium places. They're just trying to take this fight with Brutus, and that's a good overtake from Brutus. At the moment, he's getting the 3rd position, and and there it is, the fight between Sauber, Lamborghini, and BMW. This interesting fight for the podium place. This is the 8th lap at the moment, and Brutus is getting into P3, and Brett trying to respond to Rufus, and there is behind him getting into pressure from H4. With H4, the driver of Sauber, gaining a little advantage, but there's the DRS zone. That's the DRS enabled from Brett, trying to attack Ruth from the 3rd position. He's getting into the DRS zone again. He enabled the DRS, and we just see if he can get the 3rd position again. And at the moment, well defended at the moment from Rudis. Defending well the podium place, but not so close. Brett still close to him, and Brett out trying to take that 3rd position back. And somehow there is behind them the Sauber is expectating this interesting fight. Okay, so Brett attacking again, trying to get him back to 3rd position. Ruthies are getting away at the moment from the Lamborghini driver, getting a little advantage, but he has to be careful. Brett is about to enable the DRS again, and there is Ruth is getting closer to the Lamborghini driver. It looks he got the 3rd position finally, and we're getting into the DRS zone. Both into the same place, trying to get into the 3rd position. And that's a little disappointing from the Lamborghini driver, but he's on the fight again. He's attacking again, and we will see if he can create this move well. But at the moment, Russet is defending well. These two fighting from the podium place, and that's Rude is trying to defend well the third position. And this is Brett still getting into pressure, but not taking the move well at the moment. He's just trying to fight, and he's still fighting, and somehow no results at the moment. He's about to get into the DRS7 again, and that's a good overtaking move from Brett, but oh, he missed a little there. And Ruth is approached, and he's getting the third position again. Oh well, another disappointment move from the Lamborghini driver, but look at that. Somehow the Sauber driver is trying to get a little close to. We just forgot that the Sauber got enabled DRS2, and he's about to getting close into Rufus, and there it is, Brett finally taking the third place. A good overtaking move, and at the moment Brett is getting into the podium place. But what about if he's trying to defend well against Rudis, and behind him there is the Sauber driver who wants the fourth position. Oh, looks like there's a little track limits, and yeah, that's a little track limits from Rufus. He just had to be careful if he didn't want to get the 3 second slowdown. And this is the Sauber driver getting the DRS enabled. He's getting closer from Rufus, trying to get the fourth position. And he's about to enable the DRS again. He's cooking the move, and we will see if he's gonna complete well. H4 trying to fight for the fourth position, and well, that's a little trouble from Rufus. He just got far away from the track limits. But somehow and thanks to that, H4 is on fourth position. Well, that's a bad break. He just get a mistake there from the braking route, and he just lost the fourth position. But somehow he's trying to, and Griffith is trying to respond well today on this move. Oh. Fuck my head. Oh. So we're back again in this. So we're back again in this interesting fight for the podium places. And that's Rude is getting into his little comeback, getting into the fourth position, but there it is, Flame. Just getting into Mushi, the Oh no. It's Ryan trying to get the. We're just seeing the Mercedes driver Ryan is trying to get a good comeback. He was on P6 and he just overtook the driver from Sauber, and he's just fighting for the fourth position with Brett are starting to get closer. Ryan get real closer from the Lamborghini driver, and there's Brett, and somehow he just returned into the fifth position, H4, and that's a really good move from the Sauber driver, but careful that Mercedes is getting the DRS enabled, and he's about to cook his move. And what about Ace 2? And there is Ryan getting a really good move, but not successful. He just getting into the fifth position again. He just gained a place again, and there is Ryan getting a really good move right there with two green cars. And Ryan at the moment is getting into P5 with a great move right there in the first sector. So it's not decided yet. The Sauber driver is getting real. The Sauber driver is starting to get more pressure again. And he just joined to that fight. Ace, the driver of BMW. Ryan at the moment getting into fourth position. And now his cat is about to surpass Ruth. Oh, Ruth like just spit it. Yeah, and well, we're just seeing Ruth arriving to the table and trying to get the best car sometimes from this race. Oh no, my God. But the new pit lane window is open, which is how a lot of drivers trying to getting into the pit lane from trying to get away with the race. At the moment, there is. Thanks to this H4 who hasn't pitted yet, he's on second position from Solver. And Mushi is still leading the race. At the moment, these two drivers, they're not settling into the pit lane at the moment. So this is well, they just have. I was just thinking about extend the pit stop. The pit stop. So let me just see. Mushi at the moment getting into the leading some rules. Going to a lot of purpose, like percent from the list is on, so screen sliding might have only again. Yeah, we just noticed that the server is trying to lag, and we just seeing this lad is trying to redeem something from a basketball game from late 2010, so that's his curse. But at the moment, Rust is trying to get this interesting 5, so Rafa just had to let them pass. They're waiting the blue flags into Rafa, the driver of Red Bull, who just had to let him pass there too. And this is a little fight from the podium position, and between Rudis and Flames, and what a downgrade from Flame, starting into the pole position, and now he's getting into the 4th position. But well, this is a good overtaking. And there it is. That's a good move from Flame, who got the 3rd position, and the race of Rudis is trying to complicate a little, but not yet. Ruth is just Rudis didn't enable the DRS. That's weird. So it looks like they're still getting issues with the back marker. So this is Flame at the moment trying to get the 1st position back, and we're so close to the final stage of the race. Almost 10 laps remaining. And it looks like the win from Mushikuki is almost secure with that gap from 6.3. That's a really nice advantage from the driver of Racing Bull. But we're just seeing again, Ruth is trying to respond to Flame, who's at the moment is getting into the 2nd position, and Ruth is getting a little bad braking over there. But he just enabled the DRS finally. 10 laps to go. This is the final segment of the race. This is Flame at the moment defending well the 2nd position. It's just getting a little advantage. Ruth is trying to get a little bit closer to Flame, trying to cook the move. And there is Mushikuki. If he maintains this rhythm, it's about to get a easy win. Mushikuki can maintain this rhythm, so well, this is a really good performance at the moment from the driver of Racing Bull, who started 3rd, and at the moment he's just getting into the 3rd position. At the moment it's not good. It's not worth enough. Ruth will be leading the drivers' championship. So there it is. So there's more races remaining. So well, it's still not decided yet. It's just the second. Just a second round at the moment. If it stays like this, if Rufus stays in podium places, at the moment Rufus is still leading. He will be leading the World Drivers' Championship. So well, this is Nixon trying to get into the 7th position with Ace, and that's a good move, but well defended from the driver of BMW. And now this is Nixon, the teammate of Mushi, trying to get into the 7th position. And there it is. That's a good overtaking move. And that's Nixon getting into the 7th position. But Ace is trying to respond well as well. We're getting into the last sector, and there is Ace trying to cook the move with Nixon. We're getting to the final turns. And Ace is about to get the DRS enabled and at some point, and there it is. Trying to get this fight for the 7th position, and that's weird that Ace didn't enable the DRS somehow. And we're just seeing a Sauber and Lamborghini trying to take the 5th position. And at this point, at the same, Nixon and Ace trying to get the 7th position. This is Ace trying to cook the move. That's a really good pressure from Ace, getting really closer into Nixon, and he's about to cook the move. He's about to take him. At the moment, he's responding well, which is seeing into the last turn. And that's Nixon trying to respond. At the moment, Ace just completed well the overtake, but it's not decided yet. This is Nixon trying to again. This is Nixon trying to get the 6th position again, and somehow I think Ruud is just pitted again, and I don't know, he just have some mistake, but at the moment he was on 3rd position. I don't know what's going on with BMW. Ruud was on 3rd position, and somehow something happened to them. Looked like he just pitted in the wrong moment. And now he's 8th, he's P8. So that means at the moment, Rain is about to getting the podium for Mercedes. And Sauber is going to get an interesting result, getting P4. Same by Ferrari, getting into P5. At the moment, Sauber and Lamborghini are going to get really interesting results. And now we're seeing still this moment for the 6th position, this battle for the 6th position. And now Rufus is back on the game with new tires. And both BMWs are taking on the pressure with the Racing Bull driver. At the moment, Ace is getting well into the 6th position. Nixon trying to defend from Ruth. We're just in the last sector. There is Nixon getting a lot under pressure from both BMWs. Nixon still feeling the pressure from Ruth at the moment, and there is the Sauber driver H4 getting a bad moment there. I don't know what happened with the Sauber driver. He just pitted as well. And looks like he's getting a little troubles, the Sauber driver, so that means this will be a fight for the 4th position. And oh, how unfortunate, the Racing Bull driver, he just reached the limits and he got a 3-second slowdown, so both Racing Bulls are satisfied with this, so this will be a little fight between now the teammates. So now BMW has to take the decision, so which of the 2 drivers has to get the position? I don't know, with Ace or Ruth. Oh well, that's just lagging a lot. This is Brett trying to take the 4th position from the Sauber. Brett getting more and more closer from the Sauber driver, trying to get the 4th position. Oh no. this is going to be it. It looks like something happened with Ryan, with the Mercedes driver, who got a really bad mistake and he just lost podium places. And at the moment, Lamborghini is getting into the podium. This is Ryan trying to getting back to the third position. Ahead of him, there is the driver of Sauber who's getting into full position, but he's about to enable the DRS. Trying to cook the move in the second sector. But at the moment defends well the driver of Sauber. And there it is behind them, Rufus, the driver of BMW, and it looks like Ace just let them pass relative trying to fight from good places. But I think that's the decision of the team. So what this is Ryan. Still getting ahead. Still trying to oh, that's just a weird sound. You know, if someone's found a 2008 car or a 2004 car. That's a little DRS enabled from Ryan. Trying to get into the third position. Oh, that's a little bump, and Ruth is about to approach it. Trying to get Ryan into P6 again. Well, that would be a real madness from Mercedes. And we're about 2 laps remaining to go. That's 2 laps to go. And at the moment, if this stays like this, and it stays like this, Sauber will get an important podium. But well, that's because Sauber just overtook the Lamborghini. And I don't know where Brett is. Looks like he got some trouble or something. Oh, Brett. He just done a little mistake. Brett just got a 5-second slowdown. 3-second slowdown. And unfortunately, he bottled the podium from Lamborghini at the moment. So it looks like Sauber is about to get into the podium. But it's not decided yet. That's a real pressure between Rudis and Ryan trying to get into the third position. And that's a really great move from Rudis, who gets into the 4th position. And his next victim is it's the Sauber who gets into the 3rd position. That will be a great That will be a great comeback from Rudis if he gets into the podium places. And they were about to see, and there it is. That's a good overtake. What a move from Rudis. And he gets into the podium places. And there would be a great result from BMW at this point. But it's not decided yet. It's the final lap. This is the final lap. And it looks like it all settled from Racing Bulls it's all settled. It looks like it's all settled from Racing Bulls getting the victory from Mushy Cookie. And this is Ryan getting really big troubles there with the Sauber driver. He just enabled the DRS as the Sauber does too. At the moment, Rudis is about to get a really good position from BMW, and he's going to leading the championship still. They're just about getting into the second sector. We're almost done with the checker flag, and this race it's about to finish. And there is Mushy Cookie crossing the line, and the Racing Bull driver wins the German Grand Prix. Mushy Cookie, with that gap of 5.3, winning the German Grand Prix. And this is Ryan getting for 4th position. And what about what just happened to Rudis? And that is H4 getting into the podium from Sauber, and Ryan got into 4th, and somehow something happened to Rudis. I don't know if he got a slowdown. Oh yeah, he got a 3-second slowdown. Oh well, how unfortunate. and it looks like it will be an investigation. Oh well, looks like something is about to happen in the last lap. Looks like the steer is about to investigate something. Looks like something just happened in the last lap, but well, as the moment the Sauber driver just got into the podium place, that's a really big result from Sauber, and Rufus and Ryan just bottled the opportunity to get into podium. And it looks like a really bad situation is about to happen from the stewards. They just had to see Domo was truth on the line slow down during the flag. H4 gets P3. Oh, bruh. It just bottled out of somewhere. So, well, anyways, Red Bull got into the P10. Oh, well, so the podium driver is going to get into the podium front for the picture, please. So we're about to start the interviews with the podium drivers. So we're just about seeing Mushy Cookie, the winner of the race, that's Flame on second. And the third position, the surprise of the race, H4 getting the podium from Sauber. Well, that's a big bottle from Mercedes and BMW. Unfortunately, Rufus was getting good into the last laps. So well, that anyways he got into the P10 into top 10. Well, so anyways that's some decent. Well, that's anyway good news from BMW. And almost Red Bull somehow Polar getting to the P10. So well, P9. Anyways, Red Bull still got points.
Hi, I got invited to speak. I was basically fighting for third with the BMW in front of me, but he got a penalty on the last banking turn before the main straight, so I overtook him there. And yeah, I took the P3 from him. Yeah, quite lucky if I have to say, but it was a good race from Sauber overall. It's a good debut for me in my home race, so yeah, I'm quite happy, really. It's great. It's my home race, my first race. Wasn't a great qualifying. I had some poor laps and issues with the corner cuts, and my sector 1 always got invalid. But I think in the race it was a great recovery and a good strategy from the team. So we really pulled it together, and yeah, podium couldn't be any better, to be honest.
So we just have the second place we're about to see, and now we're about to talk with the second position of the race with the McLaren driver. Okay, so
yeah, I can hear you.
yeah, we can hear you.
Considering the fact I'm sick as hell right now, I was fairly happy with that lap, but that could have been a 1-1-3. I just kind of fumbled sector 3. I'll have to say that Mushy and AV were the main people I was looking for. And truth be told, me and Mushy were in a call the entire race. So me and him were talking casually the entire time. We were not even really concerned. I would say so, yeah. Obviously, I would have liked to finish first, but congrats to Mushy since he's been gone from Roblox for several months now, so congrats to him.
And now we're just about to talk with Mushy, the racing winner. We got Mushy with it. Oh, there it is.
I am not talking if you don't get Falan back up there, little boy. I don't give a shit. You bring Falan up here right now. He is my gang. Shut up otherwise. Factual. Just saying. Okay. Let me just say this. Get Fallon, please. Thank you. Bring him up. He is my gang. Bring Fallon. Yeah, there he is. Attaboy. Yeah. No, we were in the call the entire time. So
yeah, me and we were
really
talking
funny.
the entire time.
It was so stupid because we were talking about the most random crap. Anyway, what was your question? Yeah, it's terrible. Well, I definitely thought about it. I was gonna say this would have been my last. It really came down to whether or not Fallon was gonna do some more races with me, because without him, it'd be boring as living shit. So, I talked to Fallon. He'll do a few more rounds, so I will keep racing to the end of the season, unless something comes up. But I will keep racing, so don't worry. You're not gonna miss me finishing P1 every race. Fallon have no
Honestly, I'm just surprised he came back at all.
I knew I would have to at some point.
I mean,
not even a question. It's just Ruth, man. It's just Ruth. Relax. Okay. Okay. I'll give you. I might have not touched this game in a very long time. I was like shaky as living shit. I couldn't even hold the joystick straight. I was tweaking. But Ruth is so past his prime, dude. He peaked when I first joined PA. That was a long time ago. He is good. I don't care. He was slower than me, even when I'm good. And Fallon's sick as hell. And we gapped it on 17 lap ourselves. If that doesn't say something, I don't know what does.
yeah, I will say.
Okay. Sorry, fella, but like, okay, we've had a lot of success together. We won the Poly Championship together. I shat my pants when I first raced this guy. He was actually scary. We were teammates in PARE for a little while. That didn't go very well.
PGSS teammates.
PGSS teammates, that was cool. We were Lagbell teammates, I believe, going off. No.
I was your engineer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so pretty much we work together a lot and we have a good friendship, so we are good bros.
And something I will say, only 5 minutes before this race, I was in bed.
It's exactly. That's so true. No. Okay. Fallon was in bed because he's sick. I was in bed reading. because I'm lazy. Well, I'm not. Okay, I might be 7'5", but I still fit in a bed, you know. Fallon knows what I was reading. He knows it. Not yet. You could reveal it. Okay. Obsession of a certain person. So I just read for like 10 hours a day. I realized I had to race, so I was like, I don't have to race. But I got up anyway because Fallon was like, I knew Fallon was gonna race, so I was like, alright, I get up and he kind of got me called off to close. Good. While sitting in my sim setup, dude, I was steering the wheel while holding my damn controller. I'm just that good.